She's very showy. I love her very much. Look at the butterflies on the front there, roses. It's reminiscent of what would be in Beauty and the Beast, I think. I'm very picky about the things I brew my tea in, and they have to look good. I like her a lot. She might come home with me. Hello everyone, this is Cynthia Erivo. This is Tea Time with Springhill. We're about to get into something special today. I'm creating a custom tea blend. Some of these herbs you may recognize, and others we're going to learn about together. Let's get into it. So, fun fact, you will never see me without a teacup. I have many different teacups that I use. There's like a thermal cup that keeps the tea hot all day, and then my big giant mug teacup that I have at nighttime that I keep by my bedside. It plays a big part in my day and my self-care and my health. I am what would be called a tea enthusiast or a tea connoisseur. Both? I think so. Here's the thing, I never use one tea bag or one set of herbs. I mix them together because I want different properties to react with different herbs so that I can create the perfect blend for me. Never one tea bag, sometimes even four. Sometimes teas that are herbs that you have to strain and a tea bag, or two things that you strain together and then tea bag. So yes, this is my wheelhouse. All right, I have these herbs laid out in front of me, and I'm excited to get started, so let's do that. Let's do a skin tea. And that would mean we need a hibiscus. Fun fact, when I went to Egypt, this was what was served whenever you would go into a store. Hibiscus tea. It's very, it's like berries. It smells and tastes like a sour berry, almost. I think I might put in 2 teaspoons of that, I think. Biggest lesson that the entertainment industry has taught me is that it's hard to remain yourself, but you should, and it will repay you for it. But I think that's a life lesson, to be honest. Not necessarily an industry lesson. I think the more you can dig into who you are, not be stubborn to change, but finding the core of your being is, once you can hold on to that, everything else kind of flows in and flows out the way it should. The next thing I want to grab onto is butterfly pea. Now, I love this tea because it turns the water blue. So it's kind of fun to look at. I think the more you can feed yourself as your person, your personal person, who you are, the easier it is to become the characters, because you start to understand that the more you see your character as another human being, the easier it is to feed them with what you need in order for them to come to life. I love transforming into other characters, but I have a deep respect for who they are meant to be and who I'm supposed to create to give out to whoever's watching. But that, I think, is aided by feeding me as a person and learning who I am so that I have empathy for the character that I'm playing. Next, we'll go for marigold. Little sweet yellow flower, which, by the way, some people shy away from this, but I think it's actually quite good for you occasionally to take a soak in a tub if you can get one, if you can find one. Marigold is really good to pour in there. It's soothing for the skin outside and in. I think one of the most significant personal changes was probably when I came out. I think I did it on quite a big forum, but I was very, I felt very safe to do it. Edward Enninful put me on the cover of Vogue UK for their Pride edition, and I think it was one of those things that allowed me to stop tucking away a part of myself. And because I was able to just sort of be, somehow it's made me excited to keep showing up fully. And I think that this whole year has felt like that. I've sort of just been myself. So what you've met and who you've met is all me, which is kind of nice. So I get to introduce myself to you more and more and more whenever you meet me. Yeah. Next, I would like to use an antioxidant. maybe we'll do a little bee pollen, which tastes like honey, hence bee pollen. We'll do a little bee pollen, not too much because you don't want it to overpower it, and if you like honey, you don't want too much bee pollen and honey at the same time, but we'll do a little. There we go. It'll make it sweeter as well. I was not very good at protecting myself at the very beginning because I really didn't know how to. I've had to learn how to separate myself from the character once the work is done. I have a very good therapist who is extremely helpful and is on call the moment the words cut are called. And also I think I have learnt to take some time to put a character down, to say goodbye. A thing that people don't realise is your body doesn't know that you're playing someone. Your body believes that this is what's happening. And so you have to train your body to let go of something that isn't naturally theirs, because obviously you're pouring some of you into it, but as a whole the character isn't you. And so you have to allow your body to go through the process of letting those habits and those things that it's picked up go. And take some time, so you have to be patient with yourself. But it's a little bit of healing. It's like making sure that you put ointment on the graze or the scar that you pick up from the rolls. Yeah, but I do love them though. Okay, the last one I'm going to put in here is calendula, and this comes as a whole flower but can sometimes come as just the petals. I'm actually just going to take one and place it in there. All the herbs are in. Now we need hot water. And the wonderful thing about hibiscus itself is that you can actually make all sorts. You can make juice with it, it's one of those very, very versatile herbs that can be had warm or cold and at any point in summer. And if you add a little honey to it, you freeze it, you make popsicles. While this tea sits here and steeps, I'm going to spill some of my own tea. Let's chop it up for a minute. In order to sort of maintain authenticity and I'll say connectivity, the thing I try to do is find a through line from what I have in my life, even if it's a character that I don't necessarily know very well or even agree with. There are always connective tissues between that character and yourself that you can find that allow you to empathize with who they are. And so you give as much as you can to them. And I want the watcher to feel like they're being told the truth. So I try to be as truthful in the telling of these characters as possible. And when it comes to singing, it really is for me about connecting with people, trying to tell my story through song and hoping that those stories connect with the listener. When crossing the mediums and different genres, as long as it all starts from what's the most truthful way to tell the story, what's the most truthful way to bring this to people watching or listening, that allows me to make sure that everything is sort of in alignment, I guess. But I feel like singing and acting and now producing or writing, they all have different forms of freedom. They feel different to do, and so I miss one when I don't do the other. I want to tell the story of a character. I want to be the vessel for a character to come through, but I also want to sing my heart out because it's almost the immediate connection with a person, whereas you have to sort of wait if you're doing something on screen. But when you're doing something on stage, you get the feedback almost instantly. When I'm singing, I'm me, and when I'm on a stage, I'm playing a different character. So that feedback and the feedback I get when I'm singing, again, are very, very different. Even though they all are of me, they aren't necessarily me. And so I guess when I'm able to sing as myself, that's a really wonderful experience because I get to give myself to people. And when I'm playing other characters, I guess I get to tell the story of another person, or maybe connect with someone else's experience through this character as well. It's sort of in-flow experience. You have to be present, but there are things that ask more of you than others. But I like being able to jump from one to the other. Yeah. All right, the tea is done steeping. This is my big moment, the first sip. Let's see how all these herbs taste together. It looks like juice, not tea, but it's definitely tea. It smells like berries. It smells like berries, and the butterfly pea has like a little, like slightly nutty aroma to it. That's actually very good. It's like sweet after. Look at this. This is how you're supposed to pour your honey. You're supposed to use this, but I never do. Oh look, how glorious that is. Just enough. What name would I call this blend? Beauty No Beast. Make sure you guys check out my new single, Replay, and Worst of Me When It Comes to You. And thank you for joining me today. It's been very, very fun. This is very much my area of expertise, so I've been at home here today. Before I leave though, I want to leave you all with some affirmations. The first is no is a full sentence. The second is yes is a full sentence. The third is let some things go, there's more room for others. Let the room in your heart be opened if you let some things go. I repeat that because we sometimes hold on to things and we don't realize that there is more around the corner. And don't be so hard on yourself.